Part 0026. The book floating in front of Sakura gleamed, and a large magic circle formed behind her. From it appeared several golden crosses, shaped like daggers, which then pelted us like rain. Iori stepped in front of the saint and tried to ensure that none of the damage got past him. Though Orange took some damage from the attack, he managed to slip behind a magic wall that Vice President Fran had summoned. It looked like Iori was in agony after being hit with the flurry of daggers. Each one wore down his magically enhanced shield, and though he dug in his feet to endure the attack, he couldn't completely halt their flow and was slowly being pushed back. Slightly separated from the rest of the party, I escaped the area of the attack and ran towards Sakura as she cast her spell. It looked like the saint had jumped in to give Iori backup, so I didn't need to worry about them. The real problem lay in front of me. Despite her continued flurry of magic, Sakura still managed to send an attack my way, in a manner I was very familiar with. It's almost like what Takioto does, Iori remarked. Sakura's clothes stretched out, and the golden decorations lining the trim flew in toward me. Although I managed to dodge one somehow, another one of the ornaments came flying in from the opposite side, so I parried it with my dagger. Then I leaped backward to put space between the angel and me. That's a pretty dangerous outfit you've got on. In addition to its sharply pointed edges, there was quite a bit of mana coursing through the ornaments. A direct hit would definitely deal some serious damage. What was most troublesome of all, though? So she can use both long-ranged and melee attacks. This sucks. Takioto was pretty much limited to close-ranged combat. However, Sakura could send in physical attacks while she cast long-ranged magic spells. Come on, is she bad at anything? Orange shouted. But we have a way to fight her, Iori replied. We're not up against her alone, after all. Iori's absolutely right, Vice President Fran said as she cast her spell. Sharpened rocks floated in the air around her before they fired at Sakura, spinning like bullets. The angel manipulated her clothes again to intercept the swiftly flying rocks. Seizing the moment, Iori sent a fireball at her, which Sakura dodged by flying backward. She was fulfilling two roles at once, that was true. But there were 5 of us here. We weren't fighting her one-on-one. If we were going to bring her down, we'd need some sort of combination attack. That was going to be difficult, though. Sakura continued to launch rapid-fire attacks at us, making sure we didn't have the leeway to coordinate. Then, she brought one of the other books floating around her in with a flick of her hand. When she did, the book glowed and summoned a large magic circle. Holy Lance! Out of the tome appeared spears of light. The javelins were very long, 6 feet or more, and once again, they shot at Fran and the others like bullets. Seeing this, Vice President Fran shouted, "Damn it! Get out of the way!" Orange and the Vice President then jumped out from the wall they had been hiding behind. Right at that moment, the spears hit the wall and pierced straight through as if it wasn't even there. What the hell's with that power? A gaping hole had been left behind in the place where the spears had struck. A direct hit from that'd tear a hole clean through you, Orange grumbled as his face went pale. Iori whispered something, too, as he looked at the spears. Judging by his expression and the way his mouth moved, I guessed it was, "Why?" Then he dashed forward. "Your sword slashes are awfully soft. Your magic's tepid, too. What a shame." With his shield, Iori repelled the light arrows flying toward him, and he easily slipped into melee range of the angel. There, he swung his sword down on her. Is this it? His blade came to a halt in midair. Sakura had made some sort of shield out of light magic. It sure was frustrating fighting against someone with such a wide variety of spells. The next moment, she changed the book at her side. Another one. She's going to use a different spell. Vice President Fran shouted. Iori dodged the incoming light daggers as he backed off a bit. Orange tried to push in after he saw an opening, but Sakura blocked this, too, by manipulating the ornaments on her clothes. As I watched the angel and the swarm of books around her, an idea suddenly came to me. Maybe, just maybe, we could do this. I had an image of our success. I went over to the saint, who was healing Orange after he had been blown back, and whispered to her. I sorta think I can make an opening. Then do it. Except, I don't think it'll work more than once. The saint clicked her tongue. I'll try to switch over to offense as best I can. Pick your moment carefully and do it. I ran up next to Iori as he fought on the front lines. Getting in closer had been easy since Sakura was holding off Fran's and Iori's attacks. When was I going to do it? Not right now. This chance would only come once. I watched the angel intently as I joined in on the attack, searching for an opening. From there, I lost track of how many times we exchanged blows. You still don't seem to be at full power, Raziel. Sakura didn't say anything in reply to the saint's comment. Have you noticed? Raziel's movements are growing sluggish, the saint said to us. This might have been my chance. However, there was one thing bugging me. Iori was acting strange. During the fight with the golem earlier, he'd turned his superpower switch on. But right now, he seemed to be losing spirit. It wasn't just from exhaustion, either. To think you've gotten so strong, or that this would be all the power I could muster, Sakura murmured. Iori swung his blade at her without saying a word. Nevertheless, his sword was deflected by the shield she generated, so he backed away. Seeing this, Sakura immediately summoned her light spears. Ugh, you idiot! Stone bullets flew right past Iori, courtesy of the vice president. But Sakura dodged them all, drawing another book closer to her to summon and launch more light spears. These landed next to Iori, though fortunately, he seemed to be unharmed. I knew it, he murmured. Then he tightened his grip on the hilt of his blade and ran toward Sakura. Take this. Orange slashed at her from the side. She easily deflected his blow, but his attack created a brief opening. Stone rain. The vice president fired her sharp rocks at Sakura. The saint also launched light arrows of her own. Now, I thought, this is our greatest chance. Sakura backed off and gathered power. I moved out of her line of sight. NGH. She had a pained look on her face. I mean, anyone would with their hands full trying to defend against so many opponents. The ornaments on her clothes were also working overtime to stave off our offensive. Still, not yet. This time, Iori would attack. When he did, what would Sakura do? I knew already. She would pull in a book, fire off a different spell, and drive Iori back. See, look, what did I say? That was why I had my sights on these stupid things instead. The books. Not Sakura. I was going to physically interfere with her magic. No! She never would have thought her tomes would be attacked, would she? The one she tried pulling in flew off, denying her any means to defend herself. Iori's slash closed in on her. There was nothing to get in its way. It was the first big opening we had managed to create. The one we had long been hoping for. It was also an easily countered one-hit wonder type of opening, so I thought this would be the first and the last time the chance would present itself. Iori brandished his sword high. In that second, Sakura was completely stunned. Still, there almost seemed to be a slight smile on the edge of her lips. But his blade never came down. What are you doing? Hurry and swing your stupid sword! Saint Steph yelled loudly, looking seriously ticked off. However, Iori didn't just fail to attack the angel, but actually sank lifelessly to the ground. Iori. Hey, Iori, come on. Even as everyone called out to him, he didn't move. Sakura remained frozen, looking shaken and unsettled as well. Why aren't you attacking, Miss Sakura? I've given you this huge opening, Iori said as he walked several steps backward and, in a truly unbelievable move, sheathed his sword. Are you actually trying to conquer the world, Miss Sakura? You're not, are you? She wordlessly conjured her spell. Iori. A light spear shot past Iori, but he didn't move an inch. If anything, you're trying to get killed. The next one won't miss, Sakura said before generating another javelin and pointing it straight at Iori. Why didn't it hit me in the first place? Go ahead, hit me. I won't try to dodge it. At Iori's words, Sakura activated her magic. Why? She murmured. Iori didn't make any attempt to evade the attack. This time, she fired the spell in a straight line directly at him, but it didn't hit him. Because that idiot we had been waiting for literally came flying in. Whoa, come on, Ludi. Can't you be a bit gentler with that? I mean, sure, we got here in time, there we go, he said as he dusted off all the dirt and sand he was covered in, smiling. Hey, Iori. Kept you waiting, didn't I? You're late, Kusuk.